The term research data management describes the processes involved in organizing, storing, preserving, and sharing data collected during the research project. It encompasses all the practices and strategies used throughout the data lifecycle, from the initial planning and collection of data to the long-term preservation of datasets and making the data available for reuse. Steps in research data management involve creating a data management plan at the beginning of your research. Ensure proper data collection methods, consistent file naming conventions, and record-relevant metadata. Describe and document data, anonymize personal or sensitive data. Publish data in institutional or domain-specific repositories, assign persistent identifiers, and choose appropriate licenses to enable access and reuse by others. Data Management Plan is a formal document outlining how data will be collected, stored, secured, shared, and preserved throughout the lifecycle of a research project. It ensures data is organized, secure, and accessible for future use. Why write a DMP? Many funding agencies require a DMP as part of grant applications. Plans for secure storage and backups reduce the risk of accidental data loss, avoids last-minute decisions and compliance issues later in the project, makes data easier to find, interpret, and reuse for future research, clarifies data collection, storage, and sharing strategies from the start, helps institutions monitor data assets produced by funded projects, encourages good practices around sensitive data and data protection, ensures valuable data is archived and accessible beyond the life of a project, promotes consistency and quality across research groups, commitment to open science and responsible research practices. Essential sections in a DMP are: project information, brief description of the data, types of documentation that will accompany the data and metadata standards, how often the data will be backed up and to which locations, in which repository or archive will the data be held, with whom will you share the data, and under what conditions? Managing ethical concerns like anonymization of data. Outline the roles and responsibilities for all activities. How can you create a well-structured data management plan? There are tools to help researchers create and manage a data management plan that meets funder requirements and follows best practices. While using the Data Stewardship Wizard, create new project from the dashboard, choose a DMP template, answer questions in the knowledge model, review metrics, and export the DMP in the required format. Understanding the difference: fair data versus open data. Fair data is easy to find for both humans and machines. Standardized protocols should be used to ensure data can be accessed reliably. Fair data should be compatible with other datasets and tools. Fair data should be well described to allow replication and reuse. Fair focuses on making data high quality and usable. Open data emphasizes free access for everyone. Fair data can be restricted or licensed depending on the context. Open data must be freely available without restrictions. Fair data follows technical and semantic standards for better reuse. Open data often lacks detailed metadata. You can have fair data that is not open, example, sensitive health data, and open data that is not fair, example, a poorly documented dataset. Benefits of research data management at a glance. Makes research transparent and reproducible, increasing research quality. Well-managed data can be shared and cited, increasing recognition. Prevents data loss and makes it easier to reuse your own data later. Complies with legal, ethical, and policy standards. Ensures compliance with privacy and security regulations.